And when we're talking about burns, we're talking about the degrees of burns that doctors use to assess the damage. There can be more than 3 degrees, but we're only going to be talking about the first 3. So if it's only a first-degree burn, which every single person has gotten in their lifetime, only the epidermis portion is damaged. So you're going to have some redness, swelling, and a little bit of pain. A second-degree burn has all of the same symptoms as a first-degree burn. It goes through, though, the entire epidermis and the upper regions of the dermis. And so the only difference in the symptoms is that blisters can appear, or blisters do appear in a second-degree burn. Third degree are burns where the doctor is going to be very, very concerned. So this third-degree burn goes the entire thickness of the skin, and when this happens, there's going to be no initial pain because of the fact that the nerves are actually destroyed or damaged during the burn. So if a burn patient goes into the hospital, they're going to estimate the severity of burns, and they use something called the rule of 9s, and they're going to consider the burn critical if over 25% of the body has second-degree burns, 10% of the body has third-degree burns, or if there are burns or third-degree burns on the face, hands, or feet. And this is how they divide the body into those 9 percentage points. So they just look throughout the body, they have it all divvied up already, and then they determine how much of the body has been burned, what are we looking at, second-degree burns, third-degree burns, etc., and then they can just determine how severe that burn is. Now we're going to kind of switch gears and talk about developmental aspects. So when you were in the womb, so we're talking about way, way back when, before you were born, every baby has a nice little delicate coat of hairs that allows us to be warmer underwater, and it's called lanugo. And babies are born with this, and usually the hairs will fall out. Some babies are born quite hairy, some are not, and usually, like I said, it will fall out over time. Another thing that keeps us waterproof underneath or in the womb, because we're in water, is called vernix caseosa. And this is created by the sebaceous glands. And sebaceous glands, as we learned, create an oil. This is a little bit more thick. It's white. It's gooey, and it allows us to be a little bit more, like I said, waterproof underneath or in the womb in the amniotic fluid. So when a baby comes out of the womb, it's not nearly as nice as you see on the movies. They kind of have this white coating all over their body. And then we all know that adolescence can be very hard, and usually during adolescence we end up getting acne because our skin becomes oilier in those years. And then we end up finally at around age 30, we start to show some of those environmental effects from sunlight, etc., can start getting some wrinkles, and scaling and dermatitis become more common. Anytime you see itis at the end of the word, it means inflammation of. And then finally, when we get really old, lots of things are going to happen. We have to remember that our metabolism slows down, so that means that the replacement of cells will slow down and our skin will become thinner. You definitely can cut your skin a little bit easier. It can become dry and itchy. The fat layer diminishes, so people are more susceptible to cold. There's a decrease in elasticity, meaning that the dermis portion isn't allowed to snap back with those elastic fibers, and so wrinkles tend to occur. And because everything's kind of slowing down, the number of melanocytes and Langerhans cells start to decrease, so you can have more of a risk of skin cancer.